The last chapter of Matthew, it says, go into all the world and tell the good news. And also Matthew 25:35, it says we should be feeding the hungry, clothing those who need clothes, helping out with the sick, visit those in prison. I mean, those are the things that we're commissioned to do. Great Commission, we should go out in all the world. That's just what we are supposed to do as Christians. I always wanted to go to Africa, but this really gave me a quick inspiration to go and to actually do some missionary work. We passed over Egypt, and I looked down and it looks real red from the sky, and I'm saying, man, this is where all of the Egyptians and the great kings and all were, and the people that they talk about in the Bible. It was just, and then it's really red, and then the dark blue, the water contrast was just awesome from the sky, Then we ended up landing in Sudan, and we stayed there briefly, didn't get off the plane just to fuel, and then we ended up in Addis Ababa. And of course now we're in Africa, and I'm thinking, man, I'm on the continent, and you get outside, it's winter in July, it's winter there, so it's a little bit, you need a little jacket at night. It gets up to about 80 during the day, but it's maybe down to 55. And it's not a highway like the I-95. There are a lot of potholes. I call them craters because they're really big. So you can't just roll through them. You have to kind of slow down and kind of go around them. And the Jeep that we're in, the SUV was just bouncing all the way. Can you imagine bouncing for 12 hours? But along the way, the first place we stopped, there were a lot of Ethiopian people. Now, we didn't see them on the road, but once we stopped for a minute, they came out of nowhere. All these people came up to the road, and they were standing around the car, and I had that on my first video tape. But then, as you go further, I saw these monkeys in the tree. They look different than the ones in the zoo. I mean, these ones look like the cats, pretty tails hanging, long tails hanging, and I'm saying, man, are these really monkeys? I mean, this is different than what I used to see. Get a little bit further down the road, and there's a family of baboons standing on the side of the road, as we're coming along. And you see them all the way down. I mean, some with the babies on the back. Then a lot of farm, very rich land, beautiful land, very rich, very green farmland. I was just thinking if you had that type of land here, you could build, you could grow a lot of crops. And they had some farmers out there, and some of them had cows. You see everything on that road to Kamashi. You see everything, goats and cows and baboons and people walking, and I mean they're all kind of converging together. Everybody's on the road. Arrive at the orphanage. Well, I didn't go for vacation, but I did go to see what I could do to help out with the people. But being that I do have some experience with model rocketry, I was teaching the kids some aerodynamics. I work at NASA, so I just used what the Lord had given me as my gift as part of my profession to teach these young boys. In addition to that, the boys, a lot of them were teenagers now. They were starting to act like teenagers, so they have like a dorm mom, and they were kind of talking back, and so they wanted us to have some what we call tea time or testosterone training. And so a couple of men several times during the day would get a group of the boys and just talk to them about what it's all about to become a young man, and the standard that we expect from them. I mean, and being that all these kids were orphans, no mother or father, we had to explain to them that these dorm mothers, that's your family.